Hey there, I wanted to redo the very first video that I did because when I look back on it, I thought, gosh, this guy seems a little snarky, and I really don't want to have that snarky attitude. So here goes. So I was talking about launching into this big problem, this big challenge to any kind of theism, which is the problem of evil. And this is the #1 question, so it's good that people are asking about that. So the first thing I wanted to say about it, and I did a poor job on the first video, but I'll leave it up anyway, is to say that using the problem of evil as a justification for atheism. That is, posing the problem like this. If God existed, then because he's good and all-loving and all-powerful, he would make sure that evil didn't exist. However, we see that evil does exist, so therefore God must not exist. So what I wanted to say in the first video, and it is true, but I didn't like how I delivered it, is that challenge to theism is what's called philosophically absurd. And that just means that it's a self-defeating question. It's a self-defeating challenge. And here's why. Because when we say that there is evil, it means that there must be good in contrast to that evil. And if we say that there is good and evil, it must mean that there's some measure that we judge whether something is good or evil. And that measure, really, if you think about it, can't be something that comes from us internally as a subjective preference, like it's just what I think. Because then the idea of good and evil is just floating out there in space. It's just whatever you decide it is, and it has no solid grounding. And so for good and evil to be what's called objectively true, there must be some kind of standard that is not something internal to human beings, but something transcendent. And so therein lies the appeal to God as the legitimate source of the measure of good and evil. One of the attributes, one of the things that we say this is God entails is that God is the good. He is the measure of what is good, and he defines what is good and evil. So when we pose the challenge of good and evil, we're automatically bringing in the idea of God. So therefore, to use the problem of good and evil as an argument against God is self-defeating. That's what I wanted to say. So think about that and share your comments, please. I'd love to hear what you think about that. All right, thanks.